Would you rather be a Ferrari?
Yeah.
A Ferrari? Would you rather be a Ferrari or a Toyota Camry?
Ferrari.
A Ferrari. Okay. So that's the right answer. Question 2. If you're a Ferrari, would you fuel it with Camry fuel or the fuel that goes in a Ferrari? If you want to be a Ferrari, you have to put the fuel in that a Ferrari requires to perform at a high level and high performance. If you're putting in that Camry fuel,
It's gonna break down.
yeah,
The engine's gonna fail.
you're gonna be
You're gonna
putting across
transform
the
into a
field,
Camry.
right? Who works the hardest and who's the most disciplined.
Yeah, I love that.
Right?
And those I like those small decisions you're talking about, because I feel like for me that's so key in terms of like recovery. If you're training so much and those small decisions, like after a game, people will be like, oh, you could have pizza, you could have like, In-N-Out, because you just worked and you've just burned off all that, all that energy and stuff. It's fine to eat that, but is that what's gonna help you recover the fastest? No. Is that gonna slow down your recovery? Yeah, for sure. So it's like decisions like that. What can I eat after a game so I could be ready to go tomorrow, again, go at it. Or even training, like sometimes you come home late from training, there's an easy option to eat, but you still, like for me, I cook a lot of like my food. It's really like, get home, I have to make food or prepare it before. So I know, okay, I'm gonna get home late from training today, I have to have something ready.
That's discipline.
That's like those small decisions though that over time, like I was saying earlier, that's gonna stack. There's gonna be, you may not see it right away. You'll see like eventually there'll be a small breakthrough and you'll be like, hold on, I'm getting somewhere.
What you put in is what you're gonna get out in all essence of life, man.
Yeah.
What you put into it is what you're gonna get out. The fuel you put in is the performance you're gonna get out. The work you put in is the gains you're gonna get out. The dedication you put in is the rewards you're gonna reach.
Definitely,
right?
definitely. And it goes even further in the field, the maintenance as well, right? The foam rolling, stretching, all of that stuff. It's like, that's also, if you don't maintain the Ferrari, if you don't get checkups on it, you refill the oil, all that stuff, it's not gonna run smooth.
That's the discipline. Listen, that's the discipline. Listen, bro. Like, if you're gonna train like an elite athlete, right? You have to recover and fuel like an elite athlete, right?
Yeah.
You have to. If you're not doing the things to keep yourself healthy, it doesn't matter how skilled you are. If you can't get on the pitch, the field, the court, the track to perform because you're not healthy, don't really matter. So I know it ain't the sexy part of this whole mission, fuel and core and stretching and recovery, but those are the things off the pitch where the dedication wraps back into it.
Definitely.
And not just working hard in training, but working hard to do the extra things that are gonna help you guys achieve your goals and your dreams. Because here's the thing, like when I first started working with him, on our first session, I said, listen, the most important thing I'm gonna train with you is what?
So, mentality.
Here, right? It's here. Everything is here. Belief is so powerful. So powerful.
Yeah.
Right? To believe that if you show up year after year, day after day, stacking these, stacking, that in 15 years, I could be living my dream, right? It takes a certain belief to show up and put it all out there over and over and over for a dream or a goal that you have years away. And that is one of the hardest parts about making dreams come true. A lot of people don't have it to stick with it. The words come from out the non-believers, the people who are like, oh, that's too hard. And I like to say, you wanna know something? You're right. It's too hard for you. It ain't too hard for me, but I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong, that it's too hard for you. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is to ask somebody else to validate your dream or your belief, because it's your dream, your belief, you saw it. So only you can make it come true. Far too often people ask somebody, what do you think about this? And it could be a great decision. And if that person doesn't believe that they can accomplish that, or they think it's too hard, or that's not their dream, they're like, I don't know. And then too often people take that and it's like, yeah, I'm like, no. It's okay if they don't think it can happen, because it probably couldn't happen for them, but it does not determine if your dream comes true. Right, gentlemen?
Yeah, for sure.
We're on fire. Brilliant, I tell you, brilliant.
I would say as well, for me, like, it's really important for a coach to also be a mentor, because they're teaching you values that you're gonna carry on, like you said, into your adulthood. If your coach is not teaching you, if they don't have the values, or a great coach is a great mentor as well. You have to be there for a player and set an example for them, and like you said, care about them as well. Everyone is more than just a player or an athlete. everyone has their own lives going on at home and stuff like that. So I feel like a mentor is really trying to guide you in the right direction, regardless of sport, regardless of where you go in that avenue, and just make sure that you're ready for life.
Exceptional, gentlemen, exceptional, exceptional. So this question resonates with me, it's deep with me. Let's start. So my name is Mentoa, Coach Mentoa. My business, my company is MOW Athletics. The MOW is an acronym for my name. So my name Mentoa means mentor of warriors. Not mentor of athletes, not mentor of students, but mentor of warriors. And I think we all are warriors to be great people. So for me, throughout my years of doing sports, music, everything that I went through in life, I've realized that there's mentors across all boards of life. And then I've had the experience of being coached, right? And what I've learned over the years is every mentor is a coach in some fashion. You might be a mentor in business, or you're coaching somebody how to be better in business. You might be a mentor of somebody in fashion or sports, or just anything that you're mentoring somebody to become a better version of themselves in, you're actually coaching them. So it's a beautiful thing. But what I've also learned, right, is every coach isn't a mentor. You touched on it earlier about there's certain people who are coaching for money to pay their bills and to take care of their family. And I say there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you are a negative energy or a negative influence, and it's money is what's first and not development of an athlete or of a person, that's where it gets tricky, where money is the number one thing. It's okay to get paid to do something, but when getting paid outweighs helping and developing somebody to be better, that's when you're just a coach.
Right.
And that's when the coach, it loses its meaning and its thing to help these kids and help develop and mentor kids into adults. I'm not here to waste my energy or my time fighting against how somebody else is, where I could spend that shining or illuminating to show the path of how it should be. I don't want to tell nobody how it shouldn't be. Showing you how a true mentor is going to mentor you physically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally to help you become the best version of yourself. And I feel like we have gotten away from that culture when it comes to coaching. So once again, I say every mentor is a coach in their respective field. I'm always gonna try to make the decision that's best for each individual athlete that I'm blessed to be a mentor for.
More focus on helping a person become the best version of themselves, where a coach is more focused on the athletic side. I'm gonna say something that I feel like in the United States and LA especially is really difficult, just the distance of everything. Since LA is so spread out, and it's, there's first of all not as many programs as there are available overseas in Europe, and since it's not grown into the culture here, soccer as a sport, so that makes everything a lot harder to access, since you have to drive further, everything is like an hour away or more. So I would say like that's sort of a barrier that we have here in terms of getting to certain opportunities. I know a lot of people, I'm lucky enough to I can drive and I have a car that I can use, but a lot of people, their parents need to take time off for work, just take them to practice. They can't do that every day, so then they can't get to training every day. And then that leads to being left out of the team, which really hinder development, which I feel like is a barrier that we need to overcome here and find ways to make the sport more accessible.
I love how you said that, and one of the things that I was gonna touch up on, one of the greatest arguments of America versus Europe is that a lot of teams are paid to play. And a kid that might maybe a little bit poorer, that kid won't get the opportunity to be shown to scouts. Some of the best kids are the ones that don't come from the richest families. They're hungry, man. They're hungry and they want the opportunity, but they just can't because they can't be seen.
I love that. And you see that in other countries like South America, especially Brazil. You see like a lot of the best players came from like the poorest backgrounds. When I was a freshman in high school, I remember I had a friend who really wanted to play, but he just couldn't join a club team because it cost too much money. And either that or aside from the money, he couldn't get to the trainings because they would be too far. A lot of us are so fortunate to be able to have, parents that are sacrificing or that have enough money to pay for all of the, the fees. You have to pay for uniforms, for all these different fees. Aside from that, if you want to go do private training, that's a whole nother avenue to that's a whole nother worry.
It's a hindrance to development of an athlete. I think one of the big things overseas that they focus on more so than early profits is early development. And to know that if we develop this athlete to be successful long term, we'll cash in on the back end. I'm gonna focus and devote what I can to help develop these kids here, and then I don't need everybody to make mega millions or billions of dollars, but as a whole, if everybody's getting better, where I think that is lost in the States, one of the biggest things that was a shocker to me when I got back into soccer athletes was the concept of a B, a C, to D teams. What I thought you either made the top team or maybe you're on a practice squad at the best, but usually it was only like one team, and it wasn't all these other teams. And what I've seen, and I'm not saying it's every organization or every team, but I saw the amount of money that was being charged for a C team was the same it was for a B team. The coaching was way less, the development was way less. It seemed more like kids are being dropped off at a daycare to run around and kick the ball or do whatever, versus these kids who are being developed. I've also been blessed to be dealing with athletes and start off when I started coaching to where it was majority of the parents could not afford to pay private trainers or fees or everything like that. And what it kind of morphed me into was it's okay to charge, but it's not okay to charge so much that you deny access to certain people. So what it came down to for me, what was really what brought me to IFC, like when I first met Avi and we had our meeting and everything, and he told me what the plan was for this thing, to me, that I look for, and as what I like to call keywords for a good human or a good spirit. And he said he was hitting him off like knocking him out the park, Dodger style, bro. Bow, he's going yard on all these things that I'm not even asking him. He's just telling me. And he doesn't know he's checking off box after box after box after box. And I think the one I'm all in. When he said he wants to build a community, give back to the youth, especially the youth who don't have access, who parents can't pay $1,200 a month for them to be on this club, and we can give them elite training that they could otherwise not be able to get. I want to be a part of this because through IFC, it gave me a release and access on now to be on a mass scale to have all these kids and to be able to help these kids develop and give them the same elite training that they can now carry on going back to the season and get out on the pitch, and everybody's like, whoa, what did you do over the summer? It's like, oh, I was part of this IFC thing and we trained the whole summer, getting 6 o'clock in the mornings and dedication, we did this. And it really does a lot for my spirit. I believe giving back and helping for me is addictive, because to be able to help somebody is a blessing. To be in a position to help somebody is a blessing. They're just, every day they just trying to get by and live, trying not to get arrested or crazy stuff that's going on. In a crazy world, to be able to say, I can help this person is a powerful thing, and it's so a blessing to be in that position. So I feel blessed to be able to give access to just say, hey, you know, it's not always it's about money, it's about helping. And in this pay-to-play, the thing that's going on in America, it's definitely hindering the development and the access that some of these kids who could go on to be the next great might not even get an opportunity. We can't forget about these other people. That's what I think makes such a great organization, because I know I'm part of the vision, I'm on the board, and I know what we're going to accomplish. We're to change this world one great person at a time, bro.